Welcome back, guys, to the Unbreakable podcast. Today I'm going to be alone, reality check. But, of course, with the reality check, I'm going to add a little bit of soccer, football, the greatest and most beautiful sport on planet Earth. So let's start off with immediately. So right now, guys, as I'm talking, when I'm going to be posting this episode is going to be the 1st of January 2026, actually. So before I start off with football, I just want to say I want to wish everyone a happy new year. I hope you all the best for this upcoming year. I wish that all your dreams come true and that all your resolutions, that you stick to them and that you just mostly stick to them and you don't give up and you progress and you just get to where you want to go. I wish you guys all the best. Having said that, let's get right into it. Okay, so guys, right now, currently the African Cup of Nations is being played. And then, of course, the CAF, that's how we call it, the CAN. I think in English it's CAN, Cup of African Nations. Yeah, it's the CAN in English is being played right now. And of course, I have a lot of African friends who love soccer, who love football. But some of you guys need to chill out. You can never compare the CAN with either the World Cup or the Euros or the Copa America. In my opinion, the toughest competition to win international competition is by far the World Cup. Is the toughest competition to win out of all these international tournaments. After that is the Euro. Let's not lie. Immediately after the World Cup is the Euros. After the Euros, it's not the CAN. Stop the fucking cap. I hear so many people comparing the CAN with Copa America. Let's stop that nonsense. Copa America is more competitive. Copa America has a higher level of football talent and level. The level of football is higher in the Copa America than in the CAN. Although, after Copa America and after the Euros, the hardest competition to win internationally is the CAN. The CAN is stronger than Asia and is stronger than any other continent. So it goes World Cup, Euros, Copa America, and the CAN. Yes, like I said, the Euros and the Copa America is stronger and is more competitive, and the level of football is higher than the African football, which is the CAN. But right after the Euros and the Copa America, it is the CAN. Okay, next topic. So guys, I'm from Canada, and of course, we have good players. I mean, we only have Alphonso Davies, and America, of course, was also part of North America. They have Christian Pulisic for people who know, and many other players. But let me explain to you guys the difference of level between North American football players and European players mixed with South American players. So imagine this right now, okay? Like, imagine let's say Vinicius Jr., right? He's one of the greatest players currently on planet Earth, right? He's like 25, 26 years old. He's currently right now one of the best players on planet Earth. He's not top 50 Brazilian players of all time. Not even top 50 of all time. Amazing. Currently one of the best players on planet Earth. If you take Brazil's top players of all time, he's not even top 50. Now, I'm abusing, he's maybe top 50, but he's for sure not top 25 of all the Brazilian players to ever exist. Now, let me take Christian Pulisic. Right now, Christian Pulisic is like a top 50 players currently in the world. So you take Christian Pulisic, who is a top 50, if I'm generous, player in the world, and then you compare him with Vinicius Jr., who is a top 5 players currently in the world right now, okay? And Christian Pulisic, I'm being generous with the top 50, he's maybe in top 100 currently. Not all time, but currently right now. And Christian Pulisic is already the greatest American soccer player of all time. Of all time. Do you understand the level of difference between North American football and South American football and European football? The list goes on. Christian Pulisic, who currently isn't even top 50 of all time, top 50 in the world currently, he's already the greatest American player to ever exist. Same goes for Canada, my country. Alphonso Davies, he's one of the greatest left backs currently in the world. He's already the greatest Canadian player to ever exist. And if I was to put him like all time, Alphonso Davies, out of all these players to ever exist all time, he's like top 3 million, to be honest, Alphonso Davies. But that's enough for him to be considered already as the greatest Canadian soccer player of all time. That is the level of difference between North American soccer and European soccer and South American soccer. That's a level of difference. It's completely different. It's not even close, not even 1% close. If European and South American soccer is A+, North American soccer is E minus. E minus. And I'm being generous right now. That's a level of difference. So when people tell me that one day Canada might have winning chances in the World Cup, or America one day might win the World Cup, Jesus fucking Christ. Do you guys understand how far we are from ever even getting close to winning a World Cup? Croatia, who are 100 times better than Canada and America, they will probably never win a World Cup. And they finished second and third twice in all the entirety of all the World Cups to ever be played. They finished second in 2018, and they finished third in 2022, and they finished third in 1998. And Croatia will never, ever, ever win a World Cup. And I hope that they do. I have many family members who are Croatian. I hope that one day I would be fucking stoked. I would be happy. I'm not like a bigot Serbian or like a Serbian who doesn't love Croatians and doesn't want Croatia to win. No, I'm Serbian, yes, but I have so many family members who are Croatian that I would be very happy for them to win. And of course, I mean, Croatia, Serbia, ex-Yugoslavia, it's basically the same. So of course I will be happy. But if I'm being unbiased right now and I'm being logical and rational, Croatia are never ever going to win a World Cup. So if Croatia are never going to win a World Cup, do you know how far away Canada or America are from ever winning a World Cup? And there's nothing wrong there. I mean, Canada are the greatest hockey players on planet Earth. We're the greatest hockey nation on planet Earth. America already the best in basketball and baseball and American football. I mean, there's nothing wrong there. But if I'm talking about football, if I'm talking about soccer right now, the level of difference is too far from those two continents, from those three continents, if I might add, Europe and South America. It's pretty comparable. But North America, man, we don't compare with them. It's like it's like we're playing two completely different sports. We're playing soccer and they're playing football. They dominate us and it's not even close, man. Okay, next topic. And also, if I might add, this is the next topic also. Right now, currently, we have no superstar youngster who's from North America. Think of all the youngsters right now currently on planet Earth who are the best youngsters in football. Not one of them is from North America. Someone can say Alphonso Davies, he's been injured. He is one of the best left backs in the world, but he's not top 20 youngsters right now. Lamine Yamal, Vinicius, Foden, whoever, they're all way better than any North American player. So that's why when some people say that, in the future we might have some youngsters, well, the youngsters right now, we don't have one that's North American. They're all either European or South American or even African, but mostly European and South American. So right now, we don't have any legends, past or present, and the future, the youngsters currently who are between the ages of 16 and let's say 23, there's not one who's North American who's shining. They're all European and South American. But there's nothing wrong there. I mean, when it comes to basketball, I mean, Serbia, we are pretty fucking good at basketball. But again, America is America. When it comes to basketball, man, they destroy us. France are also good in basketball. Germany are not bad. Greece are good from time to time. Spain, Argentina. But if you compare them to American basketball players, there's no comparisons, right? It's not even comparable. Like the best Argentinian player of all time is like Manu Ginobili, I guess. He wouldn't be even like top 50 American basketball players of all time. Then in Spain, they have like Pau Gasol, I guess, not even top 50. France, maybe with Wembanyama, maybe he's going to be amazing. Who knows? He's still young. Then Jokic, of course, is a top player of all time. But I mean, I just named you a couple of individuals. America, they have like so many fucking individuals. It's just crazy. So same goes for soccer. North America, we suck and will always be bad at football, soccer. It might change, but in my opinion, it will never change. So there was this huge topic on social media, that goal, the big media company goal for soccer, that they made this topic and it went viral. And they asked the question, if you could have a full team of only one player, who would it be? Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho is the most complete player of all time. If your answer to this question isn't Ronaldinho, you don't know shit about football and your footballing IQ is very low. Because if you need a team with 11 players and only one player can be in each position, one player in each position. If you don't say Ronaldinho, who is by far the most complete player of all time, there's nothing he lacks. When it comes to footballing abilities, as a football player, there's nothing he lacks. Not dribbling, not shooting, not passing, not vision, not intelligence, not IQ, not heading, not speed, not strength, not whatever. He's the most complete player of all time, Ronaldinho. That's why to this question, the most logical answer to have is Ronaldinho. Of course, you could say Cristiano Ronaldo, although in my opinion, that shouldn't be the case because in midfield he's going to be ass. Messi would make sense. Maradona would make sense. Zidane would make sense. Ronaldo Phenomenal would make sense. All these legends, Pelé would make sense. Johan Cruyff would make a lot of fucking sense, to be honest. And many other players. But the number one, by far, answer to this question is Ronaldinho. By far, that's the best answer. And that's the most legit answer to this question. That just proves... That's what I mean when I say that he's the most complete player of all time. If you could choose one player to play in whatever position and be the most dominant, it would be Ronaldinho because he's the most complete. Ronaldinho's defending is better than Messi's by miles. Messi, although he's a really good defender, Ronaldinho is a better defender. Stronger, faster. So, and the rest, when it comes to vision, dribbling, passing, he's the same as Messi. Skills, whatever, he's the same. Shooting, he has better shooting power than Messi. He also has a better weak foot than Messi. So, to everything that Messi excels, Ronaldinho is equal to him. So, dribbling, passing, vision, all of that. But the things that Messi lacks a little bit, let's say defending because he's shorter, but when it comes to defending and defending IQ, Messi's IQ in defending is through the roof. His IQ in every position, Messi would be amazing. But he's a bit shorter. He's not as fast as Ronaldinho. He wasn't as strong. So that's why Ronaldinho is more complete than Lionel Messi, and that's a fact. He's the most complete player of all time. So that's why to this question, Ronaldinho is the most valid answer. Next topic. So someone said that no Premier League player, past or present, will make it into La Liga all-time 11. Facts. Fucking facts. Last podcast, I talked about how a guy once said that no La Liga or Serie A player of all time could ever make it into a Premier League 11 of all time. That's fucking crazy because all the best players in general throughout history, they all played in La Liga and Serie A in general. Of course, there are some legends in EPL, but the best players throughout history have always been in La Liga or Serie A. It's always been like that. Those two leagues are the best leagues of all time. Right now, currently, they're not. The best league is EPL right now currently. It's the most competitive. But if you take the globality of football throughout all the years to ever exist, from the late 1800s to up to all the way till 2026, Serie A and La Liga are the two most successful leagues and the two best leagues to ever exist. So then he made the starting 11 for the La Liga all time. He put Casillas in goal. Makes sense. Alves right back makes sense. Puyol and Ramos makes sense. Roberto Carlos left back makes sense. Iniesta, Zidane, Xavi makes a lot of fucking sense. Messi, Ronaldo, Phenomenal, and Cristiano Ronaldo makes sense. Although in my opinion, not putting Ronaldinho and Maradona is fucking crazy. So I would take away Cristiano Ronaldo and I would put Ronaldinho at left wing. I would keep Ronaldo Phenomenal up front. I would keep Messi at right wing, and then Iniesta, Xavi, and Zidane. I would take away, because I have to put Maradona. There's no debate there. So I would either take away Iniesta or Zidane to put Maradona. And I'm not saying that Iniesta and Zidane are better than Xavi. It's just that Iniesta and Zidane have a more similar position and playing style as Maradona. They're all attacking midfielders. And Xavi is a central midfielder. And you need a central midfielder. So I would keep Xavi for logistic purposes. And then I would either take out Iniesta or Zidane, although in my opinion, Zidane is slightly better than Iniesta if I have to choose one or the other. So I'll probably take out Iniesta and put Maradona. So this 11 makes a lot of sense, although some people, no, you have to put Ronaldinho and Maradona. I'm sorry, you have to put those two players. So the defense makes sense. Goalkeeper makes sense. The midfield doesn't make sense because Maradona isn't there. And left wing, I'm sorry, Cristiano Ronaldo is a legend, but Ronaldinho is better than Cristiano Ronaldo. So I would put Ronaldinho at left wing, Ronaldo 9 up front, and Messi at right wing. So recently I saw on social media, Paddy Pimblett saying that every UFC fighter right now is trying to be like Conor McGregor. First of all, I agree. And second of all, you can't blame them. Why? You know how much fucking money Conor McGregor made in the UFC? And if you ask anyone who knows the UFC, he's not top 5 of all time when it comes to abilities as a fighter. And he's still by far the UFC fighter to have made the most money from the UFC. By far, he made so much fucking money. And the only reason he made that much money, Conor McGregor, is because he's so flamboyant, he's so charismatic, and he's so good in front of the camera. That's why he made so much money. The UFC, although it has a lot of differences to the WWE, there are so many similarities. And that's the having a persona, being charismatic, and being attractive to the audience. Conor McGregor is by far the most charismatic fighter to ever exist in the UFC. Of course, Muhammad Ali was more charismatic than Conor McGregor. But throughout the history of the UFC, there's been Chael Sonnen, there's been many other people who've been charismatic in front of the camera, but no one has been as charismatic as Conor McGregor was. No one made as much money as Conor McGregor did in the UFC. So of course, I mean, how can you blame people trying to follow his path? Of course, you cannot be Conor McGregor. There's only one Conor McGregor. The best way is to follow your path, be who you are, follow your own path. But of course, you're going to try to make as much money as you can. Everyone wants money, which is normal. And they saw how much fucking Conor McGregor made, and that's why they want that. That's why they're trying to be like McGregor, is to get that purse, is to get that bag, is to get that money. That's why they're trying to be it. So of course, I agree with what Paddy Pimblett said. But at the same time, you can't blame him, man. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, he made so much fucking money, man, that even me personally, if I was in the UFC and someone tells me, okay, Andre, you can either be like Conor McGregor and make a lot of fucking money, or you can be someone as good as Conor McGregor, but you don't make that much money, I would choose Conor McGregor. To be honest, I would choose Conor McGregor. Now, if the question was, would you rather be Conor McGregor, so not top 5 of all time, but you made the most money, or be GSP, so you didn't make as much money as McGregor did, but you're the greatest of that sport, then it depends. Me, right now, I would choose Conor McGregor, because as much as I love the UFC MMA, I don't love it as much as I want to have like this legacy in it. I would prefer the money over the legacy in that sport. If it was soccer, then I would choose the legacy over the money if it was soccer, because I'm way more passionate about soccer and I have way more love for soccer than the UFC and MMA in general. So that's why when it comes to MMA, me personally, I would choose money over legacy. But if it was soccer, I would choose legacy over money any day of the week. Next topic. Okay, so someone said, I started the gym to feel good, but now I don't feel good unless I go to the gym. Facts, man. In the beginning, when I started the gym, in my opinion, it's not to feel good. I've always felt good mentally, although the gym brings me more peace of mind and it makes me feel better. I just wanted to be in shape, be stronger, right? Have a sculpted body, be in shape, feel good. But once you start it, so you start out the gym, you don't know what's going to happen. When you start getting all these good benefits, healthier body, clearer mind, healthier mind, stronger body, healthier mind, you get addicted to it. That's why when people start the gym and they follow a certain regimen, after a certain period of time, they get addicted. Why? Because as much as any drug can be addicted, caffeine, alcohol, cocaine, heroin, whatever, nothing is as addictive as a pump from the gym. That's how fucking good it can be, because the gym not only brings you physical benefits, but it brings you a lot of mental benefits. The number one reason that I love the gym so much is it's not the physical benefits. Of course, the physical benefits that I get is normal. Like when I go to the gym, one of the side effects of going to the gym is you're going to get a healthier body, a stronger body, a better looking body, quote unquote. But in my opinion, the thing that I value the most from going so much to the gym is the mental clarity it brings me and the mental stability it brings me and the happiness, the joy, the peace of mind that it brings me is not comparable to any physical body you can have. It's not comparable to any drug. It's not comparable to anything. That's why, in my opinion, the gym is so addictive, because not only do I get these dopamine hits and these extra benefits, but anyone else who goes to the gym regularly, they all get the same. That's why they keep going regularly. And that's why everyone who goes to the gym loves the gym. And that's why everyone is addicted to the gym who goes to the gym, because they saw how good it can be. Same goes for fasting. The reason I love fasting so much and only drinking caffeine is because the mental benefits I get from it. A clearer mind, a sharper mind, a more peace of mind, I might add also, and just more. I also get like more confidence. I get more. How can I say this? I get more energy out of life when I'm fasting than when I'm eating and stuffing my mouth and stuffing my stomach with food and getting all lethargic and getting all, how can I say this, fucking lazy. Maybe that's just from my personal experience, because I have a very sensitive stomach. So whenever I drink alcohol, it doesn't pass well. I'm not good with alcohol. My body doesn't take it well. Whenever I eat a lot of food, my body doesn't process it well, although I know a lot of people who they can eat a lot of food and their body, they process it really good. They don't feel lethargic or lazy after it. It's case from case, but from my personal experience, when my body has no food inside, when I'm fasting, when I went to the gym, when I'm only drinking caffeine, I'm the sharpest I've ever been. I have the clearest of mind I have ever had, and I have the most energy. Maybe that's me from personal experience, because I know some people who do the opposite of what I do and they feel better that way. So maybe it's case by case, but in my opinion, some things are not debatable, like going to the gym and eating healthier, no matter who you are. If you have my stomach, a sensitive stomach, or if you have anyone's other stomach who's not that sensitive, one thing's for sure, going to the gym and eating healthy food will only give you positive feedback. I don't care who you are and what you prefer. You prefer fasting, you don't prefer fasting. One thing's for sure, eating healthy, moving around, going to the gym is only going to be positive to you, and it's only going to bring you good things. There's nothing negative to eating good food and to going to the gym. There's no negative. Don't tell me wasting time. Don't tell me you don't have the time. We all have the time. It's just finding priorities, setting your priorities straight, and doing what needs to get done, even when you don't feel like it and when you're lazy. So next topic. Okay, so guys, recently, Diamond Gym. I don't know if you guys saw like the clips, all the content being created around Diamond Gym with, what's his name, Hadi Abdel, and with Unk. They've been really popular on social media. It's like a gym that you go there, and it's all about intensity. Like, it's like a gym. It's an old school gym. Like, all the equipment is old. It's like, it's all made in wood. It's like an old gym, but they keep the intensity, and they have like this they really motivate themselves. You can hear them scream. You can hear them like calling each other names, but it's all about motivation, and it's way different than any other gym. That's why Diamond Gym, which Hadi Abdel does a lot of content in, he's like a personal trainer, I guess, there. I guess he just trains there and he does content creation there. So there's Hadi Abdel, there's Unk, many other people, and they promote this movement of high intensity in the gym, motivating motivating each other, going to the gym, dying, letting it all out, and it's all mostly about intensity. And when you see how they lift, they do like, it's all about intensity. They don't really care about range of motion. It's all about strength, intensity, and lifting the most that you can. No rest, no drinking water. It's mostly intensity. So that's the opposite of nowadays with all these science-based lifters going to the gym, lifting 12 to 15 reps with full range of motion, resting 1 minute, drinking water, doing this, that, everything that's science-based. They do the opposite. They're more, like I said, old school, and they're more traditional, and they're more into intensity. In my opinion, I love like a mix of both, because being too much into science-based lifting is a bit boring, and the intensity isn't really there. And at the same time, I mean, humans have been training for the past 100,000 years, right? Ever since humans exist, we've been training, from push-ups, lifting stuff. When it was the ancient Romans and ancient Greeks, they were training how? I don't know, maybe fucking doing push-ups, lifting rocks, whatever. But they've been training, and they didn't have any science-based lifts, right? It was all about intensity and just doing simple movements. In my opinion, it's a mix of both, right? Of course, science can play a certain part. Like, we know now that drinking water is really important, that resting, then you have certain reps and certain range of motion that you have to do. So it's like a mix of both, in my opinion. Now, of course, if you want intensity, if you want a crazy workout, if you want to have the best workout you can, then Diamond Gym with Hadi Abdel, he's going to push you to the max. that's the best way. But I feel like that way of training, for the majority of human beings, for 99% of human beings who don't have aspirations of being a bodybuilder or going on the stage for bodybuilding reasons or whatever else, for 99% of human beings who simply want to be in better shape, that's too much intensity to sustain over a long period of time. It's too much. Why? Because after 2-3 workouts, you're gonna be like, yo, fuck this shit. It's way too hard. I'm giving up. So that's why, of course, those guys, their life is based around going to the gym, making content, and having this buffed up look and looking like bodybuilders. So of course, for them, that makes a lot of sense because that's all they do. But if you're a human being who has a job, goes to school, wants to have a normal social life, you have your dreams to chase, I don't know, you have a side hustle, whatever it may be, then that way of training is too intense and it's too much to be sustainable over a long period of time. So that's why maybe going to the gym for like 1 hour, having science-based lifts, like doing pull-ups, the full range of motion, resting between sets, drinking water, and then going to do bench press and whatever else workout activity you can do, that makes more sense. But I understand that their way of training is really, really good, brings a lot of good results. Why? Because if you look at their fucking shape, they're in tremendous shape. They're huge, they're lean, they're in phenomenal shape, they're really strong, and they're in really good shape. So both work. Is just a question of what do you want? What do you want to get out of fitness, out of lifting weights? And what are your goals and what kind of life are you leading? You are leading. So it all depends on who you are and what you want out of life and out of the gym. Okay, so guys, let's get into it. Yeah, and also this is something I might add. When you start the gym, this goes for almost all gym goers. When you start the gym, if before starting the gym you had body dysmorphia, which is like, it's not a mental illness, it's like a little problem, I guess that's how we can call it. Some people might have that when they look at themselves in the mirror, they don't like the body that they see. Either sometimes I also read that sometimes it can be like you see yourself differently from how people actually see you, and that's body dysmorphia. But if you have body dysmorphia and you think hitting the gym, going to the gym, getting in shape will then result in you not having body dysmorphia anymore, you got it all twisted. Let me tell you how it works. Of course, there are degrees. Some people have a higher severity of body dysmorphia than others. But if I take in general, let's say we all have it a little bit, right? If you think that going to the gym will take away your body dysmorphia, it will actually give you even more body dysmorphia because you'll be looking at yourself even more in the mirror. You're going to look at your gains even more. You're just going to be even more picky, more like you're going to be a bigger perfectionist when it comes to how your body is sculpted, your gains and whatever. So there's like this meme says that gym goers with a physique better than 99% of the population after looking at the mirror are sad because they still have body dysmorphia, even though they have a physique better than 99% of human beings. But it's a constant, like looking at yourself constantly in the mirror, constantly analyzing every part of your body, your shoulders, your chest, your back, whatever. The deeper you are into the gym, the more of a bodybuilder you are, the deeper you are into the gym, the more body dysmorphia you have. I know it's like counter logical, but in a way it makes sense because you look at yourself more and you're more picky, you're more of a perfectionist. So that's why mentally you're going to have more body dysmorphia. Okay, so guys, let's get into this next topic. So as you guys know, Leonardo DiCaprio, one of the greatest actors of all time, right? Now, I don't want to talk about his acting talent because we all know he proved it. He's one of the greatest of all time. But now he's known, DiCaprio right now is like probably like 52, 53 years old. He's known for only dating women between the ages of 18 and 25. Is he doing it on purpose? I don't know. No one knows. But if we look at his history of girlfriends, they're all between the ages of 18 and 25. Jesus Christ. No matter how old he gets, they remain between 18 and 25. And then whenever they hit 25, 26, he like lets them go. I don't know if it's on purpose. Who knows? But so my thoughts on people who are hating on DiCaprio for only dating girls between the ages of 18 and 25. Who cares? First of all, if they're 18 or older, they're legal. So whatever he's doing, What he's doing isn't illegal, so already there's nothing we can say. Second of all, if he prefers girls between the ages of 18 and 25, which they are illegal, they are not girls, they are women, if I might add, he has the right. And now if he likes women between the ages of 18 and 25 because he finds them more attractive, whatever the reason may be, he has the right because it's legal. You can hate all you want. It won't change the fact that he'll do whatever he wants. And if I might add, between guys, what he's doing, if we could, we would. But most of us can't, so we don't. That's a fact. He's dating all the top models in the world, Leonardo DiCaprio. I heard a story of him, like when he went to Australia to film the movie The Great Gatsby. There's this DJ in a nightclub, the biggest nightclub in Sydney, Australia. He used to say that every night Leonardo would come to the club, and every single night he would have a different girlfriend, right? He would have a different partner, if I might say it like that. One night after the other, he would go out, and he said that there was like this line of supermodels, and one night after the other, he would go her, and then her, and then her. He would pass by one by one, all of them night after night. That's what DiCaprio would do. Now, not all of actors are the same. Some people can do the same as what he did. Many other actors have that possibility. Now, of course, maybe they just don't want to. They don't have that personality type, or maybe it just doesn't intrigue them. But Leonardo DiCaprio, of course, from what we can see, he loves that having that playboy lifestyle, which he has the right to. And if I might add, I mean, Jesus Christ, that's Leonardo DiCaprio. Girls are falling at his feet. They want to be with him, which is normal. He's a fucking Hollywood sex symbol, one of the greatest actors of all time. I mean, every single girl when they were young had a crush on DiCaprio at a certain time. So, I mean, kudos to him. But to get back to the main argument, him wanting to date women between the ages of 18 to, let's say, 27, he has the right because it's legal. He's not doing anything illegal. Most of you guys hate on him because you're jealous, because you can't do what he's doing. And if you could, you would, but you can't, so you don't. And all the girls who are hating on him, they're hating because they're jealous that he's 53, 52, and that he's only dating younger women, and that he doesn't really care about these older women who are probably the women who hate on him. That's the only reason why, but he has the right to do what he wants. You can critique him all you want. It won't change the fact that he's only going to sleep with a woman between the ages of 18 and 25. Okay, so like I said so many times, men and women were equal, but we're different. In many aspects throughout life, we are equal, but we are different when it comes to many aspects. We have different roles. Once there's this famous, a researcher and doctor who went on the Diary of a CEO, which is a really, really big podcast. And she said, and I'm quoting her, mothers and fathers aren't the same. And that's not a bad thing. Our hormones shape how we nurture and protect. Did you know fathers are wired to sense threats? Mothers are wired to respond to a baby's cries. It's biology, not opinion. I've been saying this ever since the beginning of my podcast. We're equal, but we're different because we're wired biologically to be different, which is just normal. Throughout the history of humanity, ever since humans exist, we've had these roles which then were wired biologically inside of us. And then that's why even nowadays, even though as much as modern we want to be, we remain human beings. We remain quote unquote animals. And these traits are wired inside of us biologically, and they'll never change. And then she went on to say, acknowledging these differences doesn't divide us. It helps parents show up better for their kids. Different roles, same importance. I agree. Of course, there are different roles, but they're equally as important. That's why when I say that we're all, women and men are different, but we're equal. There's nothing wrong there. There's nothing wrong to men and women being different. I know some women take it badly, but it's actually positive because what you guys bring to the table is more important than what men bring to the table. That's why when there's a war, we send men. I'm a man, but we send men because we need women to stay and so because they're more important than men in general. Their role is more important than a man's role. So of course, people think I'm a sexist. Guys, I actually think the opposite. I think that women in general have a higher and a more important role and are in general better people than man in general, of course. Okay, next topic. Okay, so this topic, this goes out for everyone. I don't care who you are. This goes out for everyone. Sometimes when you have a bad day, when things just aren't going your way whenever there's something happening in your life, it's always negative, it's always bad. It's normal to get the feeling that sometimes we feel like life is against us and that God is against us and that the world is against us. Stop acting like the world is against you. Stop acting like life doesn't want you to win. That's not the case. God, the world, the universe wants the best out of you. The universe wants you to accomplish everything you can accomplish. Whenever there is something bad that happens to you, it's a possibility for you to explore what is the bad thing that's happening and to become a better person, to become a more developed and a more competent human being. So whenever there's something bad that we think is bad, it's actually an opportunity for us to grow and to become better. But also sometimes, this happened to me many times. In the beginning, when something happens to you, in the beginning, you may think that it's bad. But when you wait a couple of weeks, a couple of days, you realize that that thing that actually happened to you is actually a good thing. And there's a reason why it happened to you. Maybe to learn something, maybe to grow, or maybe it was actually a gift from God. But in the beginning, it was wrapped as a problem. But the gift inside was actually a gift. It was a blessing and not a curse. So that can happen. But sometimes also when there is something that actually happens badly in your life and that when life isn't going your way and when things aren't going your way, there's an opportunity to grow and don't always take it badly. Sometimes that's just life. And just because something bad happens to you, you know how the saying goes, life is unfair. It's unfair for everyone. So whenever there's something bad that happens to you, it's not like the world is against you. It's not like God is against you. It's not like if life is against you. It happens to everyone. You just have to learn how to deal with losses, deal with failure, deal with rejection. That's how you're going to grow. That's how you'll become a better person and a more competent person. If you were to go throughout your life with only good things happening to you, which is impossible, but let's say for the sake of the argument, somehow there's a human being on planet Earth and everything that happens to him is only good, he's never going to grow. It's only through hardships, it's only through failure, and it's only through rejection that you can grow, that you can learn and grow. Because if only good things are happening in your life, you're not learning anything and you're not growing because you're not learning anything. So you're not acquiring any new skills because you didn't have to learn any new skills to deal with that problem that you're facing right now. So that's why if your life was to only be good and positive, it wouldn't be good because you wouldn't be leveling up as a human being. And our goal on planet Earth for every single human being is to evolve, is to get better, is to accomplish your dreams, is to fulfill your destiny, and is to become the best version of yourself. And the only way you can become the best version of yourself is by facing hardships, is by overcoming problems, overcoming hardships, never giving up, facing failure, learning how to deal with rejection, and just striving to be better and better and not losing enthusiasm out of life and always wishing for the best and never giving up. Reaching your full potential is the only thing you should care for, especially if you're a young adult with no kids. If you're a young adult or a young person or a teenager and you don't have kids, reaching your goals, reaching your full potential as a human being, reaching your full destiny should be your main focus. And when you do that, you're not going to focus on stupid things because you're on this journey to something that's really important, to something that's bigger than you. When you're on this journey, you don't care about the stupid little things that you would care about if you weren't on this journey. But when you put yourself on the journey to reaching your full potential, facing your fears, overcoming challenges, overcoming adversity and everything else, when you're on that path towards your goal, towards your destiny, you don't care about all the stupid little things that are holding you back and all the stupid little things that actually don't matter in life. So reaching your full potential, especially if you're a young adult or a teenager, should be your main focus and the most important focus in your life. Okay, so guys, recently, for people who don't know, I want to start off saying thank you, Donald Trump. For people who don't know, in Nigeria, there's been many extremist Muslims who've been killing a lot of innocent Christians in Nigeria. Of course, Donald Trump, being the most powerful man on planet Earth, he wouldn't let this slide. He said, and I'm quoting him on his tweet, he said, "Tonight, at my direction as Commander-in-Chief, the United States launched a powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria." I'm quoting him. He literally said word for word, strike against ISIS terrorist scum. If I might add, all terrorists, no matter what their background is, political or religious, they're all scum. If you're a terrorist, you're a scum. There's nothing wrong what he said there. He said ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria, like I've been saying, who have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years and even centuries. I have previously warned these terrorists that if they did not stop the slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay, and tonight there was. Thank you. Those ISIS terrorists, they are scum, and they are killing innocent civilians. Put to the side Christian, put to the side religion, put to the side Christian and Islam. It has nothing to do. It's simply bad humans killing innocent humans. That's all it is. You can add Islam, you can add Christianity, you can add religion into it. At the end of the day, it's bad human beings killing innocent human beings. Religious or not religious, Christian or not Christian, Muslim or not Muslim, what they're doing is fucking bad, and someone had to put a stop to it. And of course, who else than the most powerful man on planet Earth, Donald J. Trump. He then went on to say, I have previously warned these terrorists that if they did not stop the slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay. And tonight there was. The Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes as only the United States is capable of doing. Little side note, no country on planet Earth has an army as powerful and as competent as the United States. It's fucking miles of difference between United States and any other army in the world. Under my leadership, our country will not allow radical Islamic terrorism to prosper. Thank you, Donald J. Trump. Fucking thank you. May God bless our military, and Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists. Yo, Donald J. Trump, I can't believe, he's in power. A guy who tweets like this, man. No professionality. He tweets like a guy who lives on the street. He tweets like a guy who's in an Italian mafia, bro. He said, Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continues. And then he signed it off, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Like I said, at the end of the day, of course, he put religion into it, Christianity, Muslims. He is Christian. This is a Christian nation, America. And he is talking about how Muslim terrorists are killing innocent civilians, innocent Christians. But how I see it, the most important, like I said, put religion to the side. Who cares about religion? Put Christianity to the side. Put Islam to the side. It's bad. It's terrorists killing innocent civilians. That's all it is. Of course, they are going under the name of Islam. They do identify as ISIS members, as ISIS terrorists. And they are targeting not all innocent civilians. They're primarily and only targeting innocent civilians who are of the Christian faith. So that's why he said ISIS terrorist scum killing innocent Christians, because those ISIS scum, they aren't killing innocent Muslims. They're only killing innocent Christians. That's another topic, but it remains the same. So what he did, Donald J. Trump, thank you. It was much needed. I also want to thank Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War of America, of the United States of America, for what they did, because there had to be a stop put to it. And Donald J. Trump brought the stop. And also, if I might add, thank God for Americans in the Western world. Right now, currently, they are the biggest protector of Western culture in the Western world, Americans. And now that Donald J. Trump is in power, he still has 3 more years. He's going to be protecting Western culture, the Western way of life, and the Western world. And plus, out of all these countries, not only in the world, but in the Western world, the most powerful country and the most influential country in the world and in the Western world is America, is the United States of America. And the most powerful man, and their president is Donald J. Trump, who doesn't allow the Western culture to be forgotten about, who doesn't allow Western culture to be played with, and who protects Western culture. And for people who don't know, the Western world was founded on Judeo-Christian values. It is a secular country, meaning that religion and politics are completely different. But when America and when the Western world was founded, it was founded on Judeo-Christian values. It will always be like that, and nothing will ever change that fact. It will always be built. It will always have the same values, the same culture as those Judeo-Christian values. When America was founded in 1776, it will always keep those values. We will always have protectors. Same goes for the entirety of the Western world. It will always be Judeo-Christian values. It will always remain the same values. Of course, there will be changes, which will be good for the Western world, but it will always be primarily based on Judeo-Christian values. It is how the Western world was founded. Now, if I might add, actually, let me talk more about, so you people know about what happened in Nigeria. So Pete Hegseth says more to come after U.S. launches airstrikes in Nigeria. The United States carried out airstrikes against ISIS militants in northwest Nigeria at the request of Nigeria's government. U.S. President Donald Trump and the U.S. military said on Thursday, claiming the group had been targeting Christians in the region. Tonight, at my direction as Commander-in-Chief, the United States launched powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria, who have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years and even centuries, Trump said in a post on Truth Social. His post went on to say U.S. defense officials had executed numerous perfect strikes. The U.S. military's Africa Command said on X that the strikes were conducted at the request of Nigerian authorities and killed multiple Islamic State in Iraq and Syria militants in Sokoto State. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth took to X, formerly Twitter, to thank the Nigerian government for its support and cooperation and added, more to come. Grateful for Nigerian government support and cooperation. Before signing off, he wrote, Merry Christmas. So it's like this was perfectly executed on the biggest Christian day on planet Earth. The 25th of December, which is Christmas, it was executed killing terrorist ISIS scum in Nigeria who were primarily targeting innocent Christians. So I can see how Donald J. Trump and Pete Hegseth were really happy. I can see how the entirety of the Christian population in the world were really happy for this, and how all the Christians in Nigeria who were victim to ISIS terrorist scum, how they were happy and grateful to the United States of America for protecting them and holding their back. Okay, so now let's hop into some human philosophy. Okay, let's get right into it. Okay, so guys, whatever happens in your life, I know we talked about it, good or bad, remain stoic. I know when something good happens to you, even if you're very stoic, we tend to highlight how we must remain stoic when something bad happens to us. I want to add that even when something good happens to us, we have to remain stoic. Because something that may seem as good at first glance, a couple of days later, actually it wasn't good. So whatever happens to your life, whatever event happens to your life, whatever happens, good or bad, always remain stoic. Because if you're capable of remaining stoic when good things happen, you're going to be capable of remaining stoic when bad things happen. If you're not capable of remaining stoic when something good or bad happens, then when something other happens, which is either good or bad, you're not going to be able to remain stoic. You're going to be all over your emotions. So whatever happens in your life, remaining stoic, remaining grateful when something bad happens, or even when something good happens, always thanking God, always thanking the universe, remaining stoic, and remaining not all over your emotions is always the best way to go. And if you look at it at a long-term perspective, it's the smartest way to go, and it's the best way to go to have the most successful lifestyle in long term. Because if you look at your long-term life, there's going to be many ups and downs. But if you're capable of always keeping the same emotional stability, the same stoicism, no matter what happens, you're going to have it way easier throughout your life in the long run than in simply the short run. So let's do, okay. very popular quote. You don't learn to swim by reading about water. I agree. Of course, you can do a lot of theory. Whenever you want to start something, you can always educate yourself, read on it. But at the end of the day, you have to literally go out there and do it. Let's say you want to start a podcast. You can read all about it. How should I start? Who should I bring? How should I host? How to ask questions? What questions to ask? But at the end of the day, you have to literally go sit in front of a camera with a guest alone and do a podcast and talk. You literally have to do it. Same goes for anything else. If you want to learn how to swim, you can read about it all day long, right? Okay, so you have many different strokes. You can do the butterfly, you can do the normal stroke, you can do the frog. There's many different ways of swimming. You can read about it for years and years, but you'll never learn how to swim if you don't literally go on the water and try to swim and practice swimming. So it is good to learn, to read about it, to learn about it, to educate yourself on the matter which you're trying to get better, on the action that you're trying to get better, on the skill set that you're trying to get better. But actually doing it is the most important thing that you have to do in order to be successful in that certain field and in order to become competent in that field. So action will always triumph over theory and just simply reading about it. Like I said, you should read about it and theorize about it and learn from many different people. But actually, at the end of the day, the most important is putting it into practice, doing it day in, day out, practicing and never giving up. That's the most important. So like they said, you don't learn to swim by reading about water. A man who walks with purpose doesn't need the crowd to cheer. He already knows where he's going. If you walk with purpose, if your dream goal, if your destiny is your purpose and you're walking with purpose, no matter what happens, good or bad, you won't give a fuck because you're only aiming, you're only walking towards your purpose. People hate on you, you don't care. People cheer you, you don't care. People talk badly about you, you don't care. People talk highly about you, you don't care. Why? Because you have your destiny, you have your goal, you have your purpose. Nothing can stop you. And you're walking towards that direction step by step, and you're not giving up. No matter what happens, you remain stoic. You keep moving forward. If it's something good, if it's something bad. And you're not looking for external validation. You're not looking for external applause. And you're not looking for external validation. You're only looking for validation from within, from yourself. That's the only thing you need. And that's the only thing that truly matters for you to accomplish your goals and your dreams. Next one. Those who betray you once will betray you 1,000 times. There's no need to drink the whole sea to realize that it's salty. If someone betrays you once, in my opinion, there's high chances that he'll do it again. Now, of course, human beings can change. I believe that human beings can change. But I also believe that changing isn't easy and that it's really fucking hard. No matter who you are, changing for the better is really fucking hard. So I feel like 95% of human beings will live their life and they'll never change. And there is a 5% who will always look to be better and better and better and change. And the reason why is because everything that's hard, everything that's good to accomplish is hard to accomplish. Changing for the better is something good, which then in return means that it's something really hard to do. That's why the majority of people will never change. They'll always remain the same. That's why when someone backstabs you once, there is high chances of him backstabbing you again because there are high chances of him never changing, never becoming a better person. That's why when they say that you don't have to drink the entire sea to realize that it's salty, you don't have to get betrayed by him 4 or 5 times to realize that he's a betrayer. You can only get betrayed once to realize that he is. But of course, at the same time, I believe that some human beings, they can change. I believe that we can change. We have the power. We have the ability to change, but it's really hard. And most human beings will never change throughout their life. Next one. A man who fears pain more than failure will taste both. Facts 100%. Fearing pain more than failure is the worst thing. It's the opposite, right? You don't want to fear failure. Don't fear pain and don't fear failure. When you face failure, it's normal. Everyone faces failure. Anyone, don't take my word for it. Anyone who's ever accomplished the greatest things on planet Earth, right? Like the biggest things you can accomplish and the most successful human beings of all time, they all faced failure. And the more they accomplished, the more an individual accomplished, the more a human accomplished, the more failures he faced, and the more rejections he faced, and the more failures he had. Like once I heard Andrew Carnegie, one of the most famous individuals of all time, one of the richest human beings to ever exist, he said that your level of success will depend on your level of failure. The more you failed throughout life, the more you faced failure, the more you faced rejection, the more you will face success. The equivalent of failures you'll have will translate to the equivalent of success you'll have later on in life. So the more you fail, the more you'll succeed. But a man who fears pain, if you fear pain and if more than failure, you'll taste both. So you shouldn't fear pain more than failure. As soon as they see you happy, they start telling people what you did in 1992. And you shouldn't give a fuck. Who you are right now is more important than who you were. Whenever someone will try to bring you down because now you're starting to accomplish things, you shouldn't give a fuck. Why? Because who you are right now triumphs over who you were. Who you were, we don't care. We all have a past. We all have failures in the past. We all had things we did that we regret. We all have regrets. We all have things we did that we regret doing. But at the end of the day, it's who you are right now, and it's who you're going to become that matters. And it's not who you were that matters. It's who you're becoming, and it's what you will accomplish and who you will become that actually matters. You didn't break, that's why they don't like you. Some people, the more you accomplish, the more haters you'll have. And the more haters you have, the more you're accomplished, and the more envious people are of you because the more you have out of life. So the more you're going to have, let's say you're on this path, and the more you accomplish, the more you get closer to your goals, the more haters you're going to have, which is normal. If you're a human being and you have no haters, no one hates on you, no one thinks you're this, no one thinks you're that, no one talks badly about you. If you're a human being and you have no haters, I'm sorry to break this to you, your life is shit. You don't have shit for people to hate on, because if your life was really good, if you had a lot of good things in your life, you would have haters. And the more beautiful of a life you have, the more success you have, and the more you've accomplished, the more haters you'll have. That's how it works. You'll have more people who hate on you. You'll also have more people who love you, who respect you, but you'll also have more people who hate on you because they're jealous and envious, because they look at your life and you have something that they don't, which makes them envious and jealous of you. So that's normal. So the more haters you have, the more successful you are. The more haters you have, that means that you're living life better than many other people. So the more haters, the better it is. Discipline is self-respect at the highest level. 100%. Having discipline is the hardest thing to have. Discipline equals freedom. Every day, all day, every day, all day, every single day. Having discipline equals freedom. Having discipline is the best attribute a human being can have. Discipline and courage, in my opinion. But discipline is the best form a human being can have, is the best aspect a human being can have. Discipline equals freedom. And when you're disciplined, you respect yourself. When you don't constantly eat whatever you want to eat, when you discipline what you eat, when you discipline yourself when it comes to what you eat, you're showing respect to your health and to your body. When you go to the gym, because it's good for you and you know that it's good for you, even when you don't feel like it, but you still go because you know that it's the right thing to do, you're showing discipline to your body and to your mind. When you do things that are good for you, even though they're hard, the harder something is to do, the more discipline it requires. So the more you do it, the more disciplined you are, and the more disciplined you are, the more you love yourself, and the more you show yourself self-respect. The more you respect yourself, the more you're going to be disciplined. The more disciplined you are, the more respectful you'll be towards yourself, and the more you'll love yourself. So that's why discipline is self-respect at the highest level. Time doesn't stop for your excuses. I agree. No matter, you can have all the excuses in the world. You can blame whatever. You can blame whoever. You can spend all your time complaining. You can spend all your days complaining. The clock never stops. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Time never stops. Time doesn't care about your excuses. Time doesn't care what's happening in your life. Time doesn't care if you're happy. Time doesn't care if you're sad. Doesn't care what's happening in your life. Time doesn't stop for anyone. Time doesn't stop for anyone. If you don't hop on the train will just keep going. It won't stop for you. It won't stop for anyone. You or Donald Trump or Elon Musk, a janitor, a guy who lives on the streets. Time treats us all the same. We all have 24 hours. 24 hour goes by as quickly for everyone as for anyone. Time respects everyone the same. Time doesn't show preference to anyone. Time doesn't care about who you are. Time just keeps going no matter what happens in the world, no matter what can literally happen in your life or in the world. Time doesn't stop. So it's better to just stop complaining and go with the flow of life. If you are going through hell, keep going. Why would you stop in hell? When you start something in the beginning, right? In the beginning, you're gonna feel like you're going through hell because you don't know how to deal with it. You don't know what you have to do. You're feeling lost. You don't know what to do. Don't stop. The worst thing you can do when you start something is to stop. Why? Because you're not gonna figure it out. You're always gonna remain in hell, quote unquote, and you didn't do any progress. And in a way, if you stop, then you just wasted time. I mean, you could have learned something from it, and then maybe it just redirected your path into something else. So maybe you started something, but then it made you realize that, oh, it's not this that I wanted to do, but it's actually something else. Then that was good. That wasn't bad. That was actually a good experience because it made you realize that you should actually be doing something else. So that's good. But if you're on the path towards fulfilling your full destiny and reaching your ultimate goal, if you simply stop, then you stopped in hell because you never reached your goal and there's nothing positive about it. So if you're going through hell, why stop? Why would you stop in hell? Just keep going. The best way out of hell is just going forward, never giving up, is fighting your way out of it. That's the best way through hell. Stopping when you're going through hell, and when you stop, you're going to stay at hell for the rest of your life. So never stop. No matter what you're going through, never give up. Always keep moving forward. To live is to suffer. To survive is to find meaning in the suffering. You know how Jordan Peterson once said, life is suffering. The only thing you can choose, you cannot choose to either suffer or not suffer. The only thing you can choose is which suffering do you want to suffer? Do you want to suffer the suffering that it requires to accomplish your goals, or do you want to live with the suffering of regret? Both of them are suffering. You can only choose your suffering. One of those, there's a way out of that suffering, and it's only by being disciplined, working hard, never giving up, that there's a way of you to get out of the suffering. But life is suffering. Like Jordan Peterson said, you cannot choose to either suffer or not suffer. You can only choose which suffering do you want to suffer. Next topic, be brave to stand for what you believe in, even if you stand alone. This is really fucking hard because as human beings, we are social creatures, right? So we don't like not having friends. We don't like not having a friend group. We don't like to feel ostracized in the society that we live in. As a sociology student, we learned about this a lot, and it's normal. We are social creatures, so we don't like getting ostracized. But the most important, if there's something you believe in with all of your heart and all of your soul, and you're ready to die for it, be brave to stand for what you believe in, even if it means that you have to stand alone. You have one life. Life goes by really quickly. Time, like I said, doesn't stop for anyone. If there's something that you stand for, that you believe in with all your heart and all your soul, and you're ready to die for, don't be afraid to stand alone. Be brave, stand alone, and believe me, at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it because you're going to get what you're seeking out of it. You're going to get what your soul is seeking out of it, and what your soul and your heart is truly seeking out of it. If you stand for what your soul and your heart truly stands for, even if you're alone, at the end of the day, you're going to get what it was seeking forever, and you're going to get out of there as a winner. Next one. If you're scared of losing, you've already lost. Facts. Whenever you try something new, whenever you just try something in life, you're always going to face failure and face losses. If you're afraid to lose, you're never going to try something new, or you're never going to keep moving forward towards your goals because you're afraid to lose. So in your mind, it's better to just hide yourself in your home and not try anything and not risk anything. But no risk, no reward. But with risk comes failure. With risk comes losses. With risk comes L's. But with risk also comes rewards. With risk also comes gifts and blessings. Next one, you will never reach your destination if you stop and throw stones at every dog that barks. Facts. When you're on your path, you're going to have many exterior people, exterior voices telling you to stop, telling you to quit, telling you that what you're doing doesn't make sense, telling you that what you're doing is stupid, that what you're doing isn't worthwhile. If you constantly waste your time arguing with them, constantly stopping and throwing stones at every dog that barks, you're wasting your time and your energy, where you could actually be putting your time and your focus and your energy on accomplishing your dreams, on your path towards your destiny. When you stop to argue with everyone, to say, no, actually what I'm doing makes sense, don't just wait, blah, 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 you're wasting time and you're wasting energy when you should actually be putting that time and that energy in actually accomplishing your dreams and fulfilling your destiny. Next one and last one, the coward never starts, the weak never finish, and a warrior never quits. To start something that you're afraid to start something new, to start something that there's a lot of fear in your heart, but you want started because you know that it's actually something good, it takes balls, it takes courage, and it takes a warrior to start it out. The weak never finish. If you start something out, good, it took balls, good, you started out. But now you have to keep going with consistency and never giving up. The strong never give up, and the weak finish. And lastly, a warrior never quits. And it's only the warrior who gets the prize at the end. And the only reason he gets the prize is not because he started, it's not because he never gave up, it's actually because he never gave up. He never quit it. Of course, you have to start. To start something new takes balls, takes courage, but to keep going takes a lot of mental strength and a lot of discipline. And to never give up, that's the goal. And that's how you will accomplish all your dreams. And that's when you'll finally reach your final destination and fulfilling your full destiny before you die. That's the only way, and that's the best way. That was it, guys, for this episode. Peace out.